It's not been great for Tommy Robinson after he was sentenced to 18 months for a contempt of court charge. We have been receiving updates along the way, and today we have some big news as a twist has emerged. We will discuss this in today's video, whilst also going over all of the latest news from up and down the country. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Just a quick one to say we have new Stuck Farmer t-shirts available on our store. Go grab them now. They are available at britishstand.com or check the link in the description. Tommy Robinson is currently being held at Woodhill Prison after initially being placed in Belmarsh. His transfer was unexpected and happened despite assurances from the judge that his situation would remain stable and consistent. At first, there were discussions about moving him to the main part of Belmarsh, which would have posed serious risks to his safety. Instead, he was relocated to Woodhill, where he's been placed in the punishment block H. For the past few weeks, Tommy hasn't been treated like a typical prisoner. Let's not forget, he's not a criminal, he's a civil offender. There's a big difference between a civil offence and a criminal conviction. Yet, the system has kept him in conditions akin to solitary confinement. He's been denied basic rights, like the ability to exercise. However, there's some big news and sounds small, but it's a big, significant change. Recently, Tommy has been allowed to exercise every weekday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. This may not seem like much, but it's a huge improvement for someone like Tommy, who values fitness and routine. This small victory gives him something positive to focus on during his days. Meanwhile, it's no surprise that the political establishment continues to avoid addressing Tommy's situation. The new Tory leader, K.Y. Bock, was the only one pressed on the matter. Her response was vague. She didn't want to alienate Tommy's supporters, but stopped short of endorsing his cause. It's clear that mainstream political parties won't touch this issue. As we've discussed before, the justice and policing systems in this country are riddled with double standards. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. In other news, Sir Keir Starmer has been warned farmers could easily ensure supermarket shelves are left empty as unrest grows over Labour's inheritance tax changes. Farmer Joe Hilditch joined Dawn Neeson on the news to criticise Rachel Reeves's budget, claiming the Chancellor got the numbers wrong while drawing up plans. Asked by Dawn just how far farmers might be prepared to go to force the government's hand, Hilditch ruled out any just-stop oil-like tactics, but she said they could easily ensure food supplies heavily disrupted. I don't think, in general, we're really like that, but we can do things. We can easily get the shelves empty for a few days, and we can not take sewage sludge from all the water companies. We can cause difficulty, she said. I am personally not militant. The rally on Tuesday, we're taking food for food banks. We're trying to get solidarity from people rather than have people irritated at us for jumping up and down. Think about your food, and where it comes from, and where it will keep coming from. There's no doubt prices will go up if this crusade continues. The new taxes for farms worth more than £1 million have left farmers feeling betrayed, according to the farming union chief. But he told Sky News withholding food should not be on the table. That is not an NFU tactic. We do not support emptying supermarket shelves. But I do completely understand the strength of feeling that there is amongst farmers. They feel helpless today, and they're trying to think of what can they do to try and demonstrate what this means to them. So look, I understand their strength of feeling, but we are not supporting that action. Treasury data shows that around 3/4 of farmers will pay nothing in inheritance tax as a result of the controversial changes announced in the budget last month. But farmers have challenged the figures, pointing to data from the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, which suggests 66% of farm businesses are worth more than the £1 million threshold at which inheritance tax will now need to be paid. Starmer has repeatedly defended changes to inheritance tax for farms, insisting most will be unaffected, and the government just needs to keep explaining how it will work. The Prime Minister said during a visit to North Wales on Friday, "I know some farmers are anxious about the inheritance tax rules that we brought in 2 weeks ago. What I would say about that is, once you add the £1 million for the farmland to the £1 million that is exempt for your spouse, for most couples with a farm wanting to hand on to their children, It's £3 million before anybody pays a penny in inheritance tax. And that is why the vast majority of farms are going to be totally unaffected by this, and it's really important we get that through. He added, so we just need to keep explaining how that works, because I know it's caused some anxiety. Lastly, Prince Andrew has hired a cheap security firm at Royal Lodge after refusing to leave the 30-room mansion. It comes after King Charles told Andrew that his £1 million annual allowance, which he used to fund his security and lifestyle, would finally be axed. It is now reported that the Duke of York has negotiated a cheaper protection deal at his leased home in an attempt to stay at the property. A source said, he has his security, but at a cheaper rate, and he is managing to finance it himself. They continued to tell The Sun, he has dug his heels in and is refusing to move, so found a way to finance his security. How sustainable in the long term, then who knows how long he can do it for. The Duke of York had relied on funding from his brother since 2022, and his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, since 2019, when he stepped down from royal life after his infamous Newsnight interview. The father of two resisted King Charles's attempts to evict him from the Windsor property, and has since found alternative funding, as confirmed by the Keeper of the Privy Purse, Sir Michael Stevens. Author Andrew Loney, writing a book on the Duke of York, told The Sun, Prince Andrew is likely to have many forms of income. Despite not being official working royals, Andrew and his former wife Sarah Ferguson still reside at Royal Lodge on the Windsor estate, fueling a feud between the Duke and his older brother. Frogmore Cottage, the former home of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, was suggested as a suitable replacement for Andrew, who lost his right to taxpayer-funded security after being stripped of his royal duties. King Charles is understood to have wanted to cut royal costs, especially since Andrew and Fergie no longer work on behalf of the institution. Royal biographer Robert Hardman revealed that his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, suggested evicting the prince, and she would have done so if she had lived another year. A royal commentator suggested that Princess Beatrice, the oldest daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, is torn over her loyalty to her father and the king. Former BBC correspondent Jenny Bond said that the Princess of York is in a perfect position to mediate between the brothers, as she is a trusted member of the royal family and remains close to Andrew. She said that Beatrice must be so torn between loyalty to the crown and loyalty to her father. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.